goodness. I didn't know Keith White was here. When did he die? Keith White. He wanted in my pants too, but he was so boring. See what you could have had, Keith, if you hadn't talked about weed all the time?
22-minute podcast. 22-minute podcast. Don't want to take up much of your time. Just gonna read some headlines. Stuff.
Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is Wes Sievertson. Today is February 10th, Monday, February 10th, 2025. And I'm here with James.
Hey, we out here.
We here. Yeah, Mike's not here this week. That's all right.
Dead to me.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, but
We miss you, Mike.
no, we really do. I definitely miss him. I hope he's doing all right. He's back in Texas with some family stuff, and we'll hear from him next week, and maybe he'll give us an update or whatever. Maybe not. You can deal with it. But yeah, so me and James this week. That's what's happening. James and I.
It's us. Just the ambiguously gay duo.
The ambiguous. I can't get that word. It's just my tongue doesn't want to get around.
That's why it was so successful. It's because
probably
they
right.
were the only ones that could
The
sing that.
ambiguously gay duo. Yeah, it probably took that guy a few times. Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
All right. Well, hey, we opened with a clip, November 10th. We opened with a clip from Nebraska. I want to say I don't know if it's an underrated movie because, it was an Oscar-nominated movie. Like, people knew about it. Bruce Dern, I think, won the Oscar, if I remember correctly, for supporting actor or something like that. Excuse me.
Did he ever win any with Evil Dead and all that?
Bruce Dern?
Was he not in Evil Dead? Am I tripping?
I want to say that he was like a small character. You're making me think he was a small character.
Oh, I'm tripping. Yeah, I have my shit wrong.
Well, anyway, Bruce Dern is a legend. He's actually Laura Dern's father, which
Yeah.
ironically
It's like,
enough,
how did you make that?
it's Laura Dern's birthday. I didn't even mean to do that. Wow. So as I was saying, Nebraska, the director Alexander Payne, it is his birthday. He's turning 64. But hey, it's also the star of Nebraska's daughter's birthday, who's a star in her own right. Wow.
What a leap.
Can you get more? God, that was just so
Hopscotching down the fucking timeline.
esoteric is what that was.
Okay. We could use words like that. It's fine.
Well, it's just so self-referential is what I'm saying. Like, it just folded in on itself.
It sure did. It's like a collapsing star.
Exactly. But Alexander Payne, I do think, is underrated. The Holdovers, right? Did you see that one? He actually,
I didn't see that one.
yeah,
I saw like Downsizing and some other ones, but
which Downsizing is not horrible, but it's almost like how people get mad at Eyes Wide Shut for not being as good as Kubrick's other movies. Not that Alexander Payne is as good as Kubrick. It's a different thing completely. But he does dark comedies really, really well. So
Kubrick fucking sucks, dude.
wow. I don't know about that one.
No,
Yeah, I
he's
don't know
pretty good.
about that.
He's pretty good.
Like, I don't think I have to defend Kubrick. You know what I mean? Like, I think
Yeah, but there's gonna be someone that wants to now. So I'm engaging with the audience in this one.
I think culture just defends Kubrick enough. Like
The 2.5 people that listen to this podcast
Exactly.
they're gonna come for me now.
Like, whoa. No, I think if I know who the 2.5 people are who listen to this, they do not care. They do not care about your opinions on Kubrick.
Who's Stanley?
Who's Kubrick? What is he saying? No, maybe in the future somebody will come at you though. That's
Right.
always what I kind of hope. That these are the kind of behind the scenes starter days of the podcast kind of thing, and
Trying to get the people going.
yeah, we're practicing, and maybe it will be a nice little. This is almost like our origin story. You'll be able to go back and listen to last year when I started in July, and it was just me, and then Mike came along, and then you came along, and then we're gonna add video, and I'm gonna, whatever. Maybe nothing will happen. That's probably most likely, but I don't care.
I think I'm waiting for the soundboard more than anything.
I agree with you. I almost got on that last night. I just wasn't in the mood. And no one wants to
Right.
hear that. I shouldn't admit that. let's get back to February 10th. Yeah, happy birthday, Alexander Payne. If you haven't seen his movies, Nebraska, Election, About Schmidt, Sideways. We forgot to check the time. We only got 10 minutes left, so that's gonna be
Holy
hilarious. That's all right. We'll just pop you back in real quick. Like it'll just be a funny moment on the podcast, where you accidentally drop out of the Zoom and then I re-invite you on air. Is this considered on air? No, it's not the radio airwaves anymore. So anyway, The Holdovers was really great. That did get some good attention a couple years ago. I think that was like a Christmas movie, 2023. And you know what? If I don't really think it's so much of a Christmas movie. I see it as an Alexander Payne movie because it's the same kind of movie he always makes. It just happens to be around Christmas.
It's always people problems. You know what I mean?
100%. And he does it so well. I mean, I don't want to go too much into it. This isn't real quick. But I love that, he established himself in the 90s and the 2000s to where he's one of the only people who gets to make these kinds of stories consistently anymore.
Yeah.
It's not IP driven. It's like, oh, it's Alexander Payne and it's a good script or whatever. And so he gets funded.
Right.
And I don't know that, when he and that generation decide to put, to put it up, I guess there's no Baumbach or whatever. I don't know. His movies aren't as good to me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Hot opinion. Anyway, all right. Happy birthday, my guy. Yeah, Laura Dern as well, obviously turning 58. She's Jurassic Park, David Lynch movies. So R.I.P. David Lynch.
R.I.P. dude.
Yeah, Inland Empire, Wild at Heart. I'm sure I'm forgetting was she in Mulholland Drive? I'm totally blanking. Anyway, yeah, and I think Laura Dern. Is Laura Dern? No, am I mistaking her for someone else? Is she from the Dallas area?
Oh, we can find out.
Yeah, we're looking it up. Laura Dern. I'm not even thinking about what I'm typing because AI will fix it.
Because I'm just thinking about she's from L.A., dude.
That's. I almost stopped myself because like, no, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure she's just like an L.A. local. Anyway, all right.
But it's hard to think past the point of Laura Dern in Jurassic Park. And me being 9 years old.
No, you're totally right.
Laura?
Yeah. Like
this is inappropriate. I'm 9.
Right. Hold on now. Like, if you're gonna come and rescue me like this, you need to buy me coffee first.
Right. Like I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm vulnerable.
And you're taking advantage, ma'am. No, I think
dinosaurs everywhere.
You know who's from Dallas is Robin Wright. That's who I'm mistaken.
Oh, okay.
For. So that's racist to me. I apologize to white blonde women like that. I shouldn't do that. All right.
They need that.
You know what? Yeah, they need to be by a white guy. No. If they're going to be checked, it's not by me. It is not this guy.
Funny.
All right. On this day in 1940, the first Tom and Jerry cartoon was released in theaters, which is hilarious to think about. It was one of those like pre-movie short films. I love Tom and Jerry personally.
Didn't they show like 20 of those like back in the day? They would have like. It would be like 6 hours of movie when you went to the movies. It would be like the news. It would be like a cartoon,
No, I think
intermission.
I think that's correct, except I do think that it's probably just as long as we sit through now. I don't think it's probably about 45, 30 minutes of commercials, movie bullshit
really?
With
Melissa.
There might have been a case. I don't know. But I think consistently... Yeah, it was like an hour because it was news and stuff like that. But I don't think it was like 6 or whatever. I think that's just
like including the movie.
Oh,
like a 6-hour day.
I don't know if that's like common, but I'd be really. I want to look that up. I'll probably have to Google that later because
I got to talk to someone that's 80 years old.
Yeah, to really get the case. It's like, well, sometimes the one down by the river would play it like that, but the one down by the sawmill never did. They never did it like that. Like, I think that's what it was. You know what I mean? It's totally where you're from, and if you're from the middle not even the middle of nowhere, but if you were in like Kansas City, it was different than it was in Chicago or whatever. So that's more of what I bet there was a theater somewhere. Because I feel like what you're describing is what I would do. It's like, well, I want to be here all day. I own this place, whatever.
Right, and what else were they doing back in the day?
Right.
Like no one had a TV in their home, so like in 1940, if you were gonna go to the movies, you're gonna go to all of them probably.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the other thing too is like, okay, cool. I'll go watch like the movie starts at this time. I know the news thing. I'll pop in and out because you know what? Maybe they have a back room that's an arcade or whatever. You know, whatever they considered an arcade back then.
Yeah.
You know, or
pinball.
Yeah. Or like there's like a gambling room or so. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, right.
it was just I think it was just a whole experience that, you know, whatever the internet is now, instead of being able to click from like experience to experience, they understood like mini little Atlantic City kind of setups in every little community. Like
It's kind of how they ingested stuff back then too, though. It was like all at once, everything's here.
Right.
They didn't have a little pocket dopamine device to tell them what's going on.
Yeah, they didn't get their fix in a box. Well, they did, but it was a much larger box. Or at least it felt larger. I don't want to say it's larger, but it felt. There's just something to like great, I can have all of this stimulus without actually moving my body and being around people. It's not the same experience. And no matter what, like sometimes cults can actually maybe be like healthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're actually doing something and active and you feel like you have purpose, sometimes that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah, you just got to give up your wife.
Well,
it's not a. What kind of sacrifice is that?
I don't know if it gives
Nothing.
me purpose. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, I don't have to feel meaningless. Cool, take her.
I've never felt better in my life.
Yeah. Hey, she's down too because like she's a part of the same exchange. Okay, fine. When we're like 70, maybe we'll have like an existential crisis. But I had a really good like 50 years.
Right.
And that might be worth it. Anywho, all right. On this day in 1949, Death of a Salesman opens in NYC. Dang, it ran 742 performances, 6 Tonys.
Did y'all ever do Death of a Salesman?
No,
in high school?
we did All My Sons, which is another Arthur Miller. Like I know View from a Bridge. We almost did that, but then we went with All My Sons.
Arthur Miller died this day in 2005, didn't he?
What? Really?
That's what you got.
Are you serious?
89 years old.
Holy shit. Maybe I noticed that when I was making the list, but I
you
totally
were
forgot.
I never did Death of a Salesman.
Wow, to die on the day of the I mean, it's not like the day he published it or whatever. It's just
No.
That is the irony of being like small-brained chimps is like you're like, oh, I mean, okay, we do happen to have the same birthday. You know what I mean? Like, so the irony of me like trying to dunk on numerology is very ironic at this moment. But it will be very often like someone's like, when's your birthday? Oh, it's December 3rd, January 7th. No way. And you're like, what? Fucking what? You know, like,
dude, May 13th.
Yeah, exactly.
We're like the same.
Yeah. So numerology, like, oh wow, well, if Arthur Miller died on the day, like there's so many days he could have died on that you would be like, oh my God, like he, you know, especially since we know so much about his circle. His daughter married Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, so okay, like, oh my God, like he died on the day that Daniel Day-Lewis like took his first shit in Ireland. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, all right. I do love Arthur Miller though. I don't think I read all of his plays, but there was a book I had of like 7 of his plays, and I just burned through that in a weekend, man. Like he just is such an amazing writer. Anyway, and also, hey, he was married to Marilyn Monroe for a while, because you know what?
Who wasn't?
She like, well, that's true, but at least you know you're the guy that she married because you're smart, you know. Like, sure, Joe DiMaggio, cool. Big O hog, probably. Whatever. I got a big O brain.
Joey D had the fucking...
Well, he's
I'm
a
sure
sweet
he just
guy.
laid that shit out.
You know, he like went to her grave, right? Isn't that a story? Like, he consistently would like... I don't know what the date that he would choose to do this, but he would consistently like annually go to her grave and like, you know, he was a sweet
sex
dude.
with their ghost.
I guess so. You know, yeah, because
Mick Gruber.
I guess that's the other thing, right? Like if you are Arthur Miller, you're getting cucked in the ghost world.
Yeah,
absolutely. Probably. Like, sure, if you want to hang around Marilyn in the afterlife, Joey's gonna be there, man.
Yeah, but like, all the ghosts are gonna be like, "Hey, smart guy, none of that shit matters now, does it?"
Ha! That's why it's good that there's no afterlife, because I would also be upset.
Yeah, I just want the fade to black there.
Right. Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Not even black, just nothingness, right?
Yeah, like like you can't even conceptualize what it is. That's the point. And it sounds relaxing.
It's like, hey, Wes, how was 1987?
Exactly. No idea.
No idea.
But you know what? The 80s were interesting. Like light was a new concept. I remember that. Air, like breathing air instead of. Oh, there you went. Got kicked. Okay, so we do have about 7 minutes left. I'm gonna start a new meeting here and invite James back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. You know, we're getting used to this. Do we really want to pay for Zoom whenever, like, everything we're doing here has already put me in a financial hole? Not really. It's a lot of this stuff actually was given to me or sold to me or given to me at a very fair price. And I'm very appreciative of that. That's for sure. All right, so I just sent that invite. Hopefully James will pop up here in a second. Hopefully he's looking for that invite. But anyway, let's. I definitely want to. We haven't done any birthday. Well, we've done 2 birthdays, but that's just because that's what was going on. But anyway, turning 51, Elizabeth Banks. Love Elizabeth Banks, man. James is back. Hey, I'm just making sure we get through some birthdays because we only got about 6 minutes left, 5-6 minutes left. So Elizabeth Banks is having a birthday.
Happy birthday, Elizabeth.
Dude, I love Elizabeth Banks. Yeah. I mean, she's hilarious, beautiful. She's a director. She's a writer. Like, wow.
Yeah. She did the Pitch Perfect movies, didn't she?
I think she produced, what is it? You'd have to look it up. I think she directed only the third one, maybe the second and the third one. But I know that she produced at least the second and the third one.
Okay.
And then, I mean, she's just Wet Hot American Summer. She's hilarious in all 3 of those, like, collections. And, I mean, I don't know. Zack and Miri Make a Porno is very charming. I don't know. That's like a great movie. It's just of our time.
Well, I mean, Kevin Smith, what are you going to do? Like, my favorite director personally, but that's what he does.
I mean,
he brings it down to a grittier level where it's a little bit more palatable for the working class man, I think.
Yeah, but I like his more of did you ever hear of Zorba the Greek?
No.
Zorba the Greek, it was a book and then it was like a movie in the 50s, but it's kind of like a very classic this is almost like a philosophical narrative. You know, there's a lot of philosophy in this narrative. And that's Kevin Smith at his best. And that's just not what Zack and Miri is. Zack and Miri to me is like a very Seth Rogen style comedy with a lot of heart.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of input on that movie, honestly. I think he had like a lot of
makes sense.
In a way that Ben Affleck didn't get away with it. He was like, let me suggest this. And because Seth Rogen's
he was at the
writing,
top.
He'd already written 2 fucking blockbusters in high school.
Right, exactly.
So I think he took him more seriously than the writer of Pearl Harbor.
But I also, I mean, that's probably definitely correct. But I also think that Kevin Smith was probably just in a place where he was like, cool, yeah, let's try that kind of comedy. Let's try your kind of comedy. And
he was open to collaboration.
Right. And there's a lot more. I think there's Kevin Smith's heart is very clear in that movie. You know what I mean? Like his sentimentality, while also, being very much a Seth Rogen style raunchy comedy. And that's why I like it. I just don't know that people will look back as like but it's very charming. I think if you really look at what it's saying and how it says it. I mean, I don't know. Actually, you know, maybe teenagers or whatever, or people in their early 20s now, might actually identify a little more with it because it won't be so shocking to them. There were some shocking moments for our generation, but.
Right. Yeah. And then that was pre-OnlyFans and stuff. So
yeah. They should watch it. Right. It's like a quaint concept to this generation.
Right. It's like the soft version of any Instagram reel you'll see.
Pretty much. So you know what? We'll have to talk to what are they? Zillennials? Zillennial? I don't know. I don't think that's a term. Anyway, turning 28.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't. Turning 28. Chloe Grace Moretz. What was her name in I'm totally blanking on Kick-Ass. What is it? I forget her character's name.
You know, I almost watched this last night.
Oh, really? Well, there you go. You know what? She was also great in because it was her. No, that's not
girl,
her.
Right?
Yeah, it's like Punch
Hit
Girl.
Girl.
Hit Girl. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else I've actually really seen her in.
She was in the Let the Right One In one. The Americanized version.
Oh shit! I don't know if I saw that. I saw the original, and I don't know if I got around to seeing the remake. I'll have to
I
check
think
it out.
she's been in a ton of shit.
No,
too.
she has. Yeah, she has. I
I follow her on IG, and I think she's like one of those kind of down to earth people. Like she'll go to like the fashion events and shit, but then most of the time she's just like posting like hikes and shit, and
Oh.
just out with her dog or whatever. And
I need to hike like maybe once a month, right? Like where I'm at. Jesus. Anyway, all right. Sorry.
you have no excuse. Why'd you
I have
move
no
there?
excuse. My friend Mike's here, and he's willing to do a podcast with me when he has time.
Well, that's worth it.
That's pretty much it, to be honest. Oh, and I applied for a job, and they hired me. All right, we got a minute
Oh,
and a
nice.
half. Turning 44 today. I think this is right up your alley. Stephanie Beatrice, which
Shout
is
out by visibility,
okay. All right, yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
right?
What was her
Am I
name?
thinking of the right person?
Yeah, no, you
Like
are.
Rosa.
Yeah. There you go. I definitely watched a lot of that show. I just I haven't.
That show's
watched it in a
fantastic.
while. I don't know that I finished it. I think I might maybe got like halfway through the seasons, but it's great. It seriously is.
Right.
It's a classic. All right, turning 34, Emma Roberts, which is you know.
Scream Queen.
Scream Queens, American Horror Story, also Julia Roberts' niece or whatever. Yeah, turning 39, Christopher Abbott. Oh yeah, he's in Girls. It Comes at Night. He's in Wolfman currently, right?
Right.
I think he's the boyfriend in Girls who's eaten Amanda Williams' ass or whatever, Allison Williams' ass. So that's great. Turning 33, Karen Fukuhara. I don't remember her name. She's in The Boys. I don't remember her character name right now for some reason. She's like the
Yeah, I
mute.
don't either. Right.
Lady.
Yeah, she's also in like Suicide Squad and stuff like that.
No, not the same. Not the same chick.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Not the same chick. Turning 95, Robert Wagner. That's an old ass name. Oh, we only got like 8 seconds. And
No, she was in Suicide Squad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, turning 58.
Both